This is the B-side, 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 the marriage. This is the B-side, 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 the marriage.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Bsideofmarriage podcast. I am Rashonda, and this is my husband and co-host,
Jason.
And thank you again for joining us. Here, we discuss all things marriage, the good, the bad, the real, the A, and the B side. If you are watching on YouTube, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And if you're listening on any of the podcasting platforms, please be sure to rate and comment the show because it helps everyone else find this amazing show that you're listening to.
Exactly.
Right? Please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Bsideofmarriage and on Facebook at the Bsideofmarriage. And now on to the show. Hey, welcome back to another episode. So glad to have you guys here with us. Yeah,
we're happy. We're happy.
I was like, you gave me the look. Like
I was just staring at you.
Okay, all right. We're gonna go ahead and jump into our first segment, where we discuss or we share with you guys A or B side moment from the week. A means everything's going good. Marriage is looking #relationship goals.
Yeah.
And B side is not so glamorous. Okay, so
you working through something. So,
yeah. So Jay, what is yours today?
Mine, I guess I'm gonna go with the A side.
Okay.
So, just the idea that my youngest one is about to start playing some sports. I'm a little excited about that because he got a lot of energy. So, I'm interested to see how he's gonna be when he plays.
That's interesting. I'm nervous. I'm like, please don't embarrass me, son. Don't embarrass me.
So what's yours?
Well, hold on. Let's.
Oh, you want to say it?
Yeah,
Okay.
because Mike is very independent.
Oh yeah, I know that.
So I don't know how he's gonna do with with team sport.
And part of it, that's why I like it, just because I'm not coaching him. I want him to be coached by somebody else. I know I'm gonna want to coach him later, but right now he's his first time gonna be coached by somebody else, which is gonna be interesting. So
it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes. I just hope he makes it to the first game.
Makes
it through the first game.
I can see him already just sitting down on the field. I don't want to play.
I know.
That's why I said it's comical. Like for me, that's why I can't accept, because those moments we can take pictures and just be laughing about that. Like he didn't want to listen, so he just sat down on the field, and I can't wait to take those pictures.
Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah. So
what's your A or B side?
I'm gonna go with the B side.
Okay.
It also kind of ties into what we're talking about today.
Okay.
But so mental health is very important to me. Hello, that's why I'm going to be a therapist, or I'm in school to be a therapist. I just wish it was easier to find one. That is my B side.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about today. We're definitely advocates for premarital counseling, marriage coaching. Hello, that's why we do it.
Yeah.
And we also feel like you should have a marriage therapist.
Correct.
This is something that we haven't had a therapist. Ever.
No, it was premarital, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like we had pre-marriage.
Yeah, and a lot of our, I guess,
mentors.
Yeah. That's where we kind of got a lot of.
We rely heavily on our mentors.
Yeah, so that's where we got a lot of, I guess, our therapy. It wasn't with a licensed professional. But it was always through our mentors who helped us kind of get where we are now. But they've always helped us out in the past and even to now. So
yes. And so we just figured that it was time for us to talk to a licensed professional.
yeah.
Just so we could get some more or get a different perspective
Yeah.
on our marriage and so forth. And so it has been hard.
It's been rough. It's been rough just trying to find one that's that can, like, I don't say cater to us, but give us what we're needing.
Yes. So, and I guess that's what's so different. So we both have or had individual therapists.
Correct.
So it's easy, I feel as though, it's easier to find an individual therapist because you only have to worry about, are you guys connecting?
Yeah.
And are they able to relate to you? Are they seeing, you for you? Or, it's just different when it's like 101.
Yeah.
Versus it's 1 for 2.
Correct.
So you have all of those. Look, so me and Jay have our own personalities. Then we have a marriage responsibility, like a marriage role. And we're bringing all of that, and we gotta find someone who can relate to basically those 3 personas. And we have not done well.
Yeah.
Also, too, it also does not help that I'm in school.
Yeah.
For marriage and family therapy.
Because she's learning all this stuff, so she's seeing that, we need to try this, we need to try that. Different types of therapy.
Yes. Yes, that is true. But I feel as though I've given everybody a fair chance.
No, I'm not saying you had. I'm not saying
I
you
feel like
had.
there's just a certain level of professionalism you need to have when especially we're new clients, right? So there should be. I'm trying to keep it nice.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, so there's a certain level of professionalism that I feel like especially because this is like virtual therapy is not something new. We've been doing this now for 2 years with the panorama.
Yeah.
So you should have a setup. Especially if this is what you do full time, you should have the proper setup.
Correct.
So that people can feel like, because it was hard to really be able to see if we connected. Because if I can barely see you, I don't know if we're really connecting.
Yeah.
There was a video delay or the sync was off.
Yeah.
And so it was like we would try to say something, she was trying to say something, and we're crossing, and then there's like the robot sound. And I'm just like, this is a lot. So
And it kind of brought you back to another therapist that you had too.
Yes, I had a therapist fall asleep on me.
Yeah, so
before.
that's kind of why she was.
So I'm like,
and this was right in the beginning of I could see she was ready to go.
Yeah, and right. And so then I'm just like, why are we still talking? We literally could just hang up right now. And I feel like if we hung up, I'm not even sure she would have known. I don't know if she would have known.
Oh man.
And 2, I'm not even sure if she would have cared. Because she would be like, hey, I got paid for this session regardless.
Yeah. You're right.
So yeah, so there is like that. And then also, I think we both kind of relate to, honestly, now that we're talking about it, I think we need to go to a couple.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because when we offer our marriage coaching, it's both of us, of course, in those sessions. And I think it's just something for a husband to be able to relate to a husband and a wife to relate to a wife.
Yeah. And give the perspective.
And then give that perspective.
Yeah.
Because, so the therapist we're seeing now, it's a male, and it's not necessarily that he's bad. He's fine. But I'm not connecting with him the way that Jay connects with him. And so we're just kind of struggling through that right now. Like, how do we find a therapist to be able to speak to both of us about the problem and effectively be able to communicate with both of us in regards to that? Because at the end of the day, we have decisions that need to be made. We have, I'm really interested in attachment styles. I feel as though that is something, I feel like...
Explain what attachment style is.
Well, I can't, 'cause that's why
Okay.
I mean, I can try.
Yeah.
It's like...
Again, she's still learning all this, so
I'm still learning it, and also I'm not... And that's why I literally feel like I'm probably not going to do a good job explaining it as I got ready to like go in it. But basically, attachment style is... I'm not going to say...
I'll pull it up to Google's.
Okay. Yes, Google it because I don't want to steer people wrong. I just know that each person has an attachment style in a relationship. And that helps drive how you kind of show up and how you respond to behaviors of your spouse or your significant other, your partner, or whatever.
Okay, so an attachment-based approach to therapy looks at the connection between an infant's early attachment experience with primary caregivers, usually with parents, and the infant's ability to develop normal and ultimately form healthy emotional and physical relationships as adult.
I don't think that's right.
Oh, that's from Psychology Today.
Yeah, but that's not about relationships. All right, so what did the Google say?
The Google said was attachment style psychology is one of the most interesting fields for marriage and family therapists to explore. And then it breaks down, let me see. Where is it at? Okay, so it says there are 4 relationship attachment styles. First one is anxious attachment style. And do you want to read it? Oh, okay. So it's anxious attachment style, disorganized attachment style, avoidant attachment style, and secure attachment style. And then... Okay.
So I feel like, because we're not going to get into all that because that might be an episode on that later. Once we figure out like where we are and how we interact and how we need to interact with each other. So that will be hopefully a follow-up on our therapy journey. But I feel like if we know that, it will help us understand how to better interact with each other. For example, when we found out, going into marriage, we didn't know anything about love languages, right?
Correct.
Once we found out what our love language was and how it changes, we've been able to effectively communicate.
Correct.
When we feel like our love tanks are at 0.
Yes.
Okay. So I feel like if we are able to understand our attachment style within our relationship, then we can better communicate.
Correct.
Within our marriage.
Because we'll understand where each other's
another dynamic.
Yeah, another dynamic. And that's kind of goes into kind of like, the whole journey of finding a therapist for your marriage. Like I said, we're learning all this as we keep going because, like I said, when we first started looking, we put down one thing, we got a therapist based on that. The next one we did the same, we did something different. We got one based on that. So now it's finding one that can really talk to our attachment style so that we can,
Right, because I feel like we have a lot of, I shouldn't say we, I have, I feel as though the way that we handle grief, I feel like it all stems from the way we handle grief. And we've had so much loss in our lives of close loved ones that I don't want to teach our kids that way of processing grief. I know for myself, I can only speak for myself, I am very much a push feelings down because you have other things to do.
Correct.
Right. So when Ma Adams died, I was pregnant with Ivy. So I can't have those negative feelings because I'm trying to birth a child. Then when my dad died, Ivy was just a toddler, and then bam, you're also pregnant with Micah.
Correct.
So dealing with all that, and then now with Phil, it's just kind of like, well, now we just have a busy life, right? I got a family. I gotta, deal with my family.
Yeah.
And also I have to make sure my husband's okay. So I gotta just do whatever I can to make sure he's okay. So it's just like, push it down and move on. And I don't think that is healthy in the long term.
No.
And so that's why I was like, I want to be able to teach our kids how to deal with loss, because there will be loss.
Yeah.
And it just needs to be done in a healthier way. And I feel like a lot of our, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that a lot. I should say some of our communication is also too related to the way, so I'm not saying this clearly. Give me a chance. Okay. We, just like I have survived grief by pushing feelings down and moving on, I feel like I do that too with your job because of the way you work, your schedule. So it's like I don't have time to adjust my feelings because we're constantly kind of like, ships passing in the night. So it's like I'll push them down, not like permanently.
Because it feels like like if you push them down, you don't have to burden me while I'm at work.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was like, oh, we'll talk about that later.
But it never comes because
we don't get a lot of time together. So I don't want to, so remember when I had said back on this day, this is what I was feeling, and then we had to deal with it. Like, I don't want to because we don't get that much time together.
Yeah.
So that's why we're, seeking a professional to help, I guess, maximize the time that we do have. I don't know. Get a different perspective on how we handle it.
No, basically, like you said earlier, to get a therapist to help us identify what those attachment styles are, and then how those attachment styles, how we can actually work with our attachment styles and be able to not, for instance, I'm not saying you, but you saying you pushing stuff down, instead of pushing it down, you putting it on a piece of paper and giving it to me. So when I get home, you're not holding on to it. You're putting on a piece of paper to kind of let it go. And then I'm reading, and then when we can actually have time, we can talk about it. So you're not just holding on to them. So again, like I said, the therapist that we have right now, it's, again, like you said, she doesn't really, she likes, but she doesn't. I'll say it like that. And then it's because, and for me, it's, it hits me. How he talks is how I need to hear it. How I need to hear those different things. For her, it's like, I don't like it. So.
It's not that I don't like it. I just feel like I'm just along for the ride. No, I feel like you guys have a lot of back and forth and conversation, and then he'll be like, so Rashonda, what do you think? And I'm just like, I'm good. Because that is how I respond. Like when I feel like I'm not being heard, I'm just like, all right, like how much more time do we gotta?
Yeah, you've done that. I realize that.
Yeah, because I'm just like checked out. I'm just like, okay, but I was like, I try not to check out too much because I'm like, this is helpful for you. Yeah. So that's why I was like, well, maybe y'all should just continue on, and then I just go find somebody else.
But then I'm like,
I already have it.
That negates the point though, because it's supposed to be both of us. So like you said, maybe we need to find a couple who does this so we can, have that type of perspective.
I don't know. How do you find that?
This is the
Especially
job.
if we're talking about license.
This is the job. This is the...
Most couples are not licensed. Both of them are not licensed.
Yeah, one is probably...
One licensed and the other one, like, which will be our situation.
For the time being.
So, if you guys have any help or any suggestions on how we can find a couple who offers marriage therapy, I'll be interested to find out.
That knows about attachment styles. Now, we can't just say marriage therapy. They need to understand what attachment...
I think that, has some emotionally focused approaches would be good. Because that's a lot associated with it. We're not giving up.
Oh, yeah, that's the one thing. Yeah, we're going to continue to...
We're going to continue on the search.
Yeah, because, like I said, it's... not saying it's a needle in a haystack, but hey, we need to continue to look because this is something that is going to benefit both of us, so...
Yes, and I think that's why we're here now, is because we've been saying we need to get a therapist, and we have not been as dedicated to that journey of finding one. So it's hard to be able to do like an annual checkup if we don't have that person.
Yeah.
So once we get that person or that couple, then it'll be easier for us to be like, okay, we need a checkup, quarterly checkup or whatever.
Yeah.
And go that route. Anything else? Oh, I do want to say for the saints out there, my shirt says it, Jesus and therapy. We do love the Lord. We definitely understand that there are certain anointed couples that are in our lives. Like I said, we have marriage mentors. We definitely know and believe, God is real and he is a factor in our relationship. But we also believe in therapy because God has anointed and appointed others to help in situations like this, or just in this industry. I don't want to say industry, but in this field.
In this
field, to specialize in it. Yeah. And that's why he has anointed and appointed them, and they have been educated and trained. So that's why we're going to utilize his blessings that he's placed here on earth. But yeah, so I feel like right now, where we are in our marriage is we love each other.
It's like, that's a long pause.
Well, I'm trying to find the right words, like try to carry, because I want to, like, this is like a real snapshot. Yeah. Like, we love each other. We're dedicated and committed to our relationship, but we need a tune-up.
Yeah.
We need a tune-up.
Mainly, again, because I'm going to say we, because I know there's still some stuff out, but we've gone through a lot of stuff, and like she said, to have suppressed that stuff because we just had to continue to, live life, but continue to take care of our family and move on. We couldn't just sit back. Yeah, support. We couldn't just sit back and just be like, you know what, I'm not doing anything. Like, we couldn't do that. Mm-hmm. So, so that's why we have to, what is it? We have to dive into those areas and kind of figure out what why those things caused us to suppress it, and even just not even bring it back to the surface to kind of address those feelings. So
move forward.
Yeah.
I guess what else? What else can we say as far as the act of finding one? So maybe we should say what we've tried.
Okay.
So we've tried the monthly subscription.
Yeah.
For us, we found out that does not work.
Just one because the schedules,
yes.
My work schedule too. So it's kind of hard because, like she said, we're passing ships sometimes. Mm-hmm. So it's like, only other time we can do it is on the weekend. It's like, I ain't trying. If we got time together on the weekend, we want to spend together. We don't want to be talking to somebody. But again, that's why we went subscription based, and it was cool.
So with the subscription, we were able to try, if we found a therapist and we didn't like or didn't connect, we could try someone else.
And I mean, cut you up. But that's the good part, because it's
Yeah.
like, you don't have to stay with them. If like after the first session, no, I'm out. Like, you can change it and look for another one. But part of doing that is you have to, like I said earlier, you have to be specific about what you're looking for, because it based on your, I guess, the intake form, that's how it sorts through the type of therapist you want. So, and then it gives you different ones, unless, like what we did for the second one was, she did research on a specific type of, therapist.
Yes, and I think too, if we're gonna go the subscription route, you need to make sure that both of you guys are writing that intake, or like responding to the survey.
Yeah.
Or ask a question, does it need to be, can you complete it jointly or individually?
Yeah.
So we were under the impression that we had to do it, that we were supposed to only submit one form.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, actually, you needed two. And so then, because there's different perspectives on what Jay felt like he was looking for and what I was looking for. So that's why on the second go around, we found someone that knows about attachment styles.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm just gonna say it. That's the benefit of a subscription. Also, the other benefit is if you guys are able to have meet every week consistently with the person, it's great. It really does help out there. The problem is, if you have your schedules are different, it makes it very tough. Yeah. So we were paying, the monthly for 4 sessions,
and we only got 3.
We only did
for
3.
2 months. Yeah. For 2 months, we only got 3.
Yes, because we had to dealt with the death, and that was in the first month. So and we were trying to. It was I don't even know if they were trying to do grief, because we told them it was a death, and they were just try this worksheet, and I could not do it. So so that's what subscription.
Man, that's true.
That's what happened.
That's why I'm laughing. I
was like, well, we're grieving.
They give us a lot of forms to fill out. I was like, wait a second.
So that was just enough for us.
Yeah.
So we are now going to try. Well, we gotta go back to traditional.
Yeah, traditional. So we can, we're paying when we actually go, instead of, just paying for a full month and not really getting all those sessions that we should have paid for.
We could try. Remember how we found our individual therapist?
Oh, yeah.
So it's
It's through your,
No.
It's usually through your,
EAP?
EAP is through the insurance.
Okay, well.
It's through your insurance, but it's,
Well, yeah, that's not what I was talking about.
Oh.
Remember, that's not how we found our therapist. The ones that we currently have. Well, the one that I currently have. I don't know what happened with yours.
I found mine through the EAP.
No, you found it through the lady. That's the therapist finder.
Oh, yeah, you sure right. Yeah. You right. I just
That's not her official title. I can't remember, but in essence, you meet with her. She's a therapist.
Yes.
You talk with her, and she, based on your needs and your wants, she goes and she basically does the legwork.
And it's good. It's a good.
So it's kind of like a consultation kind of thing.
So she you pay her to kind of not even kind of to find you the therapist that you would need. And like I said, the conversation you have is pretty thorough, the conversation you have with her. And then, she really works to find, the therapist in either your insurance, all those different things. So, which is pretty good, yeah.
Those are facts, yeah. So, actually we have 2 ways we can try to go about this, to try to find another, we can find a therapist within our insurance.
Or we can call her and
see if she can call her and see what she can find.
You know what? I think we might do it. We should do that.
So because we're not in. The subscription was not through our insurance.
Yeah, we paid for
we were
that.
paying out of pocket for it. And so, but I feel like it's actually, even if we were paying out of pocket, it will still be cheaper than a subscription because it's based off of your actual sessions with the person.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's not that we have to find someone with insurance. Of course, we would prefer it. But right now, we're just really just trying to find someone who's a good fit, and then we'll figure out how to pay them. We got 3 kids. We can always sell off one.
You can't be saying that on no video. You can't be saying that.
Okay, we'll offer one to do some work.
See, now you're doing child labor laws. Come on now, you can't
No,
say
they can work as long as it's not crazy hours. They're good at certain stuff.
I can't with you.
I'm just saying, we will figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have beans and rice. Is that better? We'll have beans and rice.
Kids like beans, and we like beans and rice, so hey.
So that we can make enough money to pay our therapist. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, so I don't think there's anything else to share about therapy right now. We're still
It's a process, and
it's still a process.
Still a process.
We're still in it.
Yeah.
There's still some to-dos. Now I will say, because like I said, the last marriage therapist that we were seeing, he's fine. He gave Jay some action items. So we're kind of working that.
Yeah.
But I feel what's missing is like the emotions and the feelings behind it, the talk therapy to help support the kind of the solution focus that therapy that he provided.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to try to do that. And yes, nip all of this in the bud.
We're trying to find a therapist, like she said, so we can, come and do our tune-ups when we need to. So we're not just kind of like off on an island together, trying to just figure it out ourselves.
Well, yeah, I just feel like a third party, first of all, this is like just our journey to finding our journey in therapy is an experience in itself that only we share. We're the ones that are in those sessions. We're the ones dealing with those communications. So if nothing else, the process is a bonding moment. So
Yeah. That's true. That's true. It's bringing us together.
Yes, because we have had some interesting situations, but also it helps to bring in a third party, whether it's a individual or a couple, to come in and they can see things with a fresh eye, and it's objective, right? They don't have attachment to us.
Or either one of us, yeah, because it's, like I said, it's, when you hear, and I would say for myself, when you hear some of the stuff they like say to you, and then they ask you a question, and you thought you answered it, but you ain't answer it, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, and then it's like, then when he says like, oh crap, I really gotta say this answer.
And I'm sitting over there nodding my head because I was like, I said this to you before.
So, but it's, again, it's good to hear because, again, you need that third party to kind of, to tell you that you're wrong, because that's not what it was. It was more the fact that to see it from an outside perspective of, of what you could be doing.
Yes.
For your relationship, for your for your family and things like that, rather than just being nonchalant about it. That's how I look at it. Just be like, well, okay, no, but it was, for me, it was something that I needed to hear, and it wasn't like I haven't heard it, because I have, but it was more of a reminder, and it kind of, it did kick me in the butt. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It kicked me in the butt.
Well, and also too, they're emotionally disconnected, right? Mm-hmm. So when they say things, they can just they're no one's been rude about it.
Yeah.
But they're able to deliver things without that emotion, without the like, oh, if I say this the wrong way,
yeah,
I'm getting a divorce kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So because they have that disconnect, then it's like, oh, I'm internalizing things that I should not be internalizing.
Yeah.
That's not what's going on. And that's what that person provides. And so that's why I feel like that's why it's beneficial. Also, too, the fact that both of us are coming to the table willingly is something that I'm finding is odd.
Yeah, everyone's like, y'all willing? It's like, yeah, we want to talk about it. It's like, okay, all right, let's get started. Like,
yeah,
they're in shock.
Yeah,
you know,
like, wait, she's not forcing you.
Yeah, it's like it's that's. I'm not gonna lie, that's comical though.
It is because it's like one, and I get it. Like, you know, they were like, so they're trying to like gauge the room, right? And then they're like, so is divorce like? So we're trying to prevent a divorce, and I was like, no. We're looking at each other like, no. We're trying to, like, this is what we're trying to do, and it's kind of like, oh, this is it.
So I'll say it like this. So. Not to, again, we're not therapists, but, you know, because we've done stuff, you know, in marriage therapy for most of our marriage, when we, like, we're already coming like, okay, this is what, we kind of say, this is what we want to do. Help us do it. But they're so in shock, like, we know what we're talking about. We know, so, like, even, like I say, just, you know, when they hear what we actually do, they're like, really? It's like, yeah, but they're like in shock that we actually do coaching, but we know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Because like we probably don't make that's what I'm just thinking about. I was like, we probably don't make the best clients.
No, we don't. We really don't.
Oh, well, we're here now.
We really
but doctors need doctors.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They also say they're the worst patients because...
Oh, you know what? You're right. That's true. I didn't think about that. Even though we're not doctors, but yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying, you know, we're coaches, and so then we're like we need elevated coaching, and so they're probably like, these people are getting in their own way. So.
Yeah, cause not saying we think we know it, but we've.
Yeah.
Yeah, we experience.
Well, I mean,
it.
that's been the way I communicated for a long time.
Yeah.
I have full-on conversations in my head. Cause I'm like, I'm gonna say this, he's gonna say that, and he's gonna do this and that.
And it didn't happen that way.
No. I don't know. I've never come out and say. I just internalized it.
Yeah.
So yeah. But anyway, so we'll give you guys an update whenever we have something to actually update you guys on. But yeah, if you guys have any other suggestions on how we can find a marriage therapist that can relate to both of us.
Correct.
We're here for it. Please leave it in the comments.
Yes, leave it in the comments. Let us know.
Please.
Is there anything else you think of?
I think that's it.
All right, y'all. So
don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to like, share, and comment, and follow.
And subscribe.
Oh, subscribe. That's the word I'm looking for. Subscribe. And if you're listening, make sure you follow and rate. Yes, rate and review.
Rate and review.
There we go. I'm going to get it eventually.
So
right,
I guess till next time, y'all.
Yes.
Let's talk to you later.
All right. Peace.